one of the internet's most popular websites, with it having thousands of different subreddits to explore, with some being more controversial than others. And one user may be the biggest contributor to these questionable forums, and he went by the name of Violentacrez. All the way back in 2005, Reddit was founded as a link aggregator site that allowed users to submit titles attached to links that brought you to articles, videos, images, or anything else that they might have felt was interesting. Another thing that made this new site cool were the subreddits that could be created for a variety of subject matters. While the premise of Reddit seemed simple enough, most could have never predicted the impact this website would have. After years of growth, it became one of the 50 most viewed sites on the entire web. One big thing that helped Reddit grow was the company's hands-off approach of allowing users to moderate their own subreddits, without censorship as long as they weren't doing anything illegal or breaking site rules. While this concept may have originally been just to allow people to have unpopular opinions without the fear of being banned, things over time became more complicated, with sections of the site having increasingly provocative content. And one Reddit user at the head of many of these subreddits was Violentacrez. Violentacrez joined Reddit in 2007, with him quickly taking a liking to the site and the owner's hands-off nature of overseeing the forums. So with that, he went to work becoming one of the biggest users of the site, moderating many purposely shocking subreddits including creep shots, beating women, pics of dead kids, pics of dead babies, misogyny, Jewmerica, Hitler, and most famously jailbait to stir up outrage. For those of you who weren't aware, our jailbait at the time was a place users shared pictures of scantily clad underage girls that they'd usually find on Facebook. And Violentacrez saw this as his magnum opus, since it was easily his biggest subreddit, along with it being fully legal since there was no nudity. While the small staff at Reddit in the early days weren't overly happy about the community Violentacrez was building, they soon found him helpful in moderating the portions of the site that weren't suitable for work. Since this one crafty troll was willing to moderate the dark side of Reddit for free, a very strange agreement was met between both parties. For years, Violentacrez was able to freely spark outrage from the purposely offensive communities he had built. But things started to change as Reddit became more and more popular. Many news organizations started to give the link aggregator more scrutiny, especially since the site's second most searched term was jailbait. It soon had gotten picked up by CNN and other sites that Reddit was allowing this sort of content, so soon after, jailbait was shut down. While this was definitely a big blow for Reddit's arguably biggest user, it didn't stop him from continuing to use his First Amendment right to the greatest extent allowed by the law. But little did the anonymous user know that things were going to change soon enough. In 2012, Violentacrez was contacted by Gawker journalist Adrian Chen, who had finally figured out his real identity. After years of causing outrage, everyone discovered Michael Bruch was the man behind the infamous persona. A former US Air Force programming specialist, 49-year-old Michael worked as an application developer in Texas with a teenage son, disabled wife, 7 cats, and 2 dogs. After a long day though, what he enjoyed most was to go on Reddit and rile people up through his hundreds of subreddits. Soon after his identity was revealed, he lost his job. Then, with not much else to lose, he went on CNN with an interview explaining how he did it because he could, and that Reddit supported him since he drew people to the site in the early days, including them giving him a gold-plated bobblehead. It was clear that he wanted to pin part of the responsibility on Reddit for encouraging the behavior.
I'm sorry. I have made mistakes. I understand that, Reddit encouraged and enabled this sort of behavior, and I shouldn't have been a part of it.
While Mr. Bruch owned up to all he did, including jailbait, he still argued that his biggest subreddit was no different than the music industry sexualizing young girls, with his example being an early Britney Spears. But even with that being said, he still regrets his actions and the effects they've had on his life. Another piece of hypocrisy that many pointed out was that the media outlet Gawker was willing to dox this man, and in a result destroy his life by revealing his personal information, which may even be worse than what Violentacrez had done for all those years. In result, many high-profile subreddits have banned links from Gawker. Ever since Michael Bruch was revealed, Gawker has become more well known for their iffy ethical standards, as well as Reddit cracking down more and more on controversial subreddits that may offend others, and in result making many lose respect for a site once known to allow free speech, no matter how unpopular. So because of all this, I'd like to welcome Violentacrez to my Internet Hall of Fame. Whether that's a good or bad thing is completely up to you.